Trusting others too easily can lead to serious setbacks. Your leader tells you that if you work harder during this time, there will be opportunities for promotion and a raise. A friend borrows money from you, promising to pay it back within a month, but you find out that things are far from what they claimed. Despite working overtime every day, you haven't received a promotion or a raise, and the money you lent out isn't being handled properly. Your friend even denies owing it. These experiences repeatedly remind you that trusting others can result in losses, yet you may still fall into the trap of trust next time. In psychology, there's a concept called the default truthfulness theory, which suggests that unless there are obvious logical errors, people tend to default to believing what others say is true. While this tendency can sometimes foster interpersonal trust, promoting communication and cooperation, it can also lead to deception. To change this tendency to trust too easily, you must first cultivate critical thinking. This involves actively asking questions, analyzing evidence, evaluating logic and reasoning, and the ability to find reliable information. For example, asking more questions proactively can gather more information, helping to comprehensively assess the truthfulness of the other party's statements. Additionally, seeking independent evidence and understanding relevant backgrounds can help to more accurately judge the credibility of information. Monitoring personal emotions and biases is also an important step to prevent them from negatively impacting judgment. Furthermore, adopting a multi-angle verification approach is effective. Lies often struggle to remain consistent from various perspectives, so by asking questions from multiple angles and checking if answers are reasonable or contradictory, potential falsehoods can be exposed. If the other party's statements are inconsistent with those of people around them, it could be a sign of deception. In summary, to avoid trusting others too easily, you need to cultivate critical thinking, ask questions proactively, seek independent evidence, and verify the truthfulness of information from multiple angles. These methods can increase your vigilance and reduce the risk of being deceived. When Peter's posts started popping up frequently on social media, William couldn't resist the temptation of curiosity and decided to learn more about this self-proclaimed financial investment expert. He clicked on Peter's profile and quickly browsed through his posts. In the photos, a well-dressed man stood next to a luxury car with skyscrapers in the background, seemingly showcasing his success and wealth to William. "Hi, Peter. I'm interested in your investment opportunities. Could you give me more details?" William sent a direct message. Not long after, he received a reply from Peter. "Hey, William. I'm glad you're interested in my investment project. It's a fantastic opportunity that requires just a small investment from you to yield substantial returns in a short time. Can we chat in detail now?" "Sure. I have some time right now," William replied eagerly. They quickly connected via video call. Peter, dressed in a suit, generously displayed documents in his hand to William. "William, this investment project is carefully planned by me, and it's absolutely risk-free. With just a $10,000 investment from you, we can get started. Imagine, in a few months, you'll be swimming in wealth." William's eyes lit up, filled with anticipation for the future. Peter's words seemed to ignite his inner desire for wealth. "This sounds amazing. I trust you. I'm ready, and I'll prepare the funds immediately," he exclaimed. "That's great, William. You won't regret this decision," Peter confidently assured, seemingly anticipating William's decision. Everything seemed too good to be true, and William forgot his initial skepticism towards Peter, fully immersing himself in this so-called investment opportunity. During the video call with Peter, William was drawn in by his words, although a hint of doubt lingered within him. Peter tirelessly extolled the various advantages and prospects of the investment project, painting a picture of an incredibly bright future. He presented a stack of cases, claiming them to be evidence of his success, further convincing William that he was pursuing an excellent investment opportunity. "William, look at this. This is an investor I helped before, and now he's a millionaire," Peter exclaimed excitedly, pointing at a photo on the screen showing a smiling young man holding a stack of cash. William couldn't help but furrow his brow, still feeling hesitant. "Peter, I am indeed interested, but this investment is significant for me too. Could you explain the specific details of the investment plan in more detail?" Peter nodded with a smile. "Of course, William. Our investment plan is based on a very stable industry with extremely optimistic prospects. And we have a professional team that will guide you throughout the investment process to ensure everything goes smoothly." Listening to Peter's explanation, William's internal doubts gradually dissipated, and he began to believe that his concerns were unfounded. "Peter, I trust you. I'm willing to believe in your investment plan. I'm prepared, and I want to start investing immediately." Peter's eyes sparkled as if he could already see a successful future. "That's fantastic. William, you won't regret this decision," he exclaimed excitedly, further convincing William that he was on the path to wealth. As time passed, William began to doubt his investments. Initially, he had been hopeful for the high returns promised by Peter, but as days went by, he found that his funds were not growing as expected. Instead, his account balance started rapidly declining, as if pouring out like water from a bucket. "What's going on?" William started feeling a sense of unease. He began repeatedly checking the details of the investment projects, trying to pinpoint the problem. However, no matter what he did, he couldn't find a reasonable explanation. He impatiently attempted to contact Peter, but each time it was either an unreachable number or no answer. "Peter, where are you? I need to talk to you." William anxiously left messages, but he never received any response. Gradually, William started realizing that he might have fallen victim to a financial scam. His heart sank as he realized that his entire savings had vanished into thin air. Everything in front of him seemed like a cruel joke, and he was the only victim. How could this happen? How could I be so foolish? William muttered to himself in self-blame, filled with endless regret and pain. He felt deceived by Peter's sweet talk, and his own greed and gullibility had cost him dearly. Faced with the harsh reality, William felt powerless and hopeless. His future became blurry, and the once bright dreams turned into shattered remnants. After the collapse of his investments, William fell into a long period of contemplation and self-reflection. He realized his past naivety and the huge losses brought about by a lack of critical thinking. Behind this tragedy was his desire for wealth and a better future, all shattered by Peter's fraud. "I was so foolish," William sighed self-deprecatingly. He began scrutinizing his actions, realizing that he hadn't conducted sufficient research and understanding before investing. Instead, he had blindly trusted others' words. He immersed himself in self-blame and regret, imagining better choices he could have made if he had been more vigilant and rational from the start. At the same time, William began to understand the importance of critical thinking. He realized that if he had been more cautious in his approach to investing and financial management, with more skepticism and questioning, perhaps he wouldn't have fallen into such a predicament. From that moment on, he resolved not to easily believe others' promises, but to learn to evaluate each investment opportunity with reason and analysis. It's a painful lesson, but I believe I will learn from it and become more mature and wise. William made up his mind. He was determined to cultivate his critical thinking to avoid becoming a victim of financial fraud again. He believed that only through failure could one become stronger on the path to success.